Nobody can touch me because I would get blacklisted for that.
The persona in the front that we put forward into the universe.
You'd be standing and...
Hi, I'm Gabi. Because I will miss that aspect.
Something else. Yeah. Like, bitch, we're friends. don't address me like that.
Well, you're people, you're not creatures. I'm so sorry. I don't care if you hate me.
No. Tissue paper.
I dated a lot of Sagittarius men, and that just was not working.
Girls love her, boys love her.
And those connections and ideas change.
And if we want to legalize marijuana or not, I don't know.
75% of podcasts don't make it past the first year. Hi, we're back. I'm back.
We're live.
Kyle has joined me today
And Blue's right over there.
to talk about astrology.
Mm.
He's insisted on eating cereal in this process, which is going to mildly piss me off.
I'm almost finished.
If you hear scraping of the bowl and you go in the comments later, ew, Gabi, make that noise stop, it's his fault.
Not gonna scrape.
You're not going to scrape? We're watching this unfold. I feel like I have to narrate it for the people that are not watching.
Zero scrape.
I cannot. Okay. Welcome back to the Zealous Celebrities. For those of you who are new here and don't know who this is Kyle. Who are you, Kyle?
I'm Kyle. The Kyle.
Who's the Kyle?
Kyle.
My fiance. This is my fiance.
I am fianced to that person.
And he's riding my last nerve today. So today we are back. It's still in the astrology theme. If you did not watch the first episode, I highly suggest you go because we did, in fact, talk about a lot of things. And by we, I mean you and I, listener, not Kyle. He was not here. We talked about different astrology things, what they mean, everything like that. So it's going to kind of give you a base today to go off when Kyle and I get into some other stuff. So, are you kind of ready to rock and roll?
I'm absolutely not prepared because you wouldn't share the questions with me, so
Well,
I'm as ready as I will ever be.
I feel like raw reaction is really what the people are looking for.
Well, then let's give it to them.
Okay, so when you met me, do you actually remember the first thing I said that kind of gave off like a astrology vibe or anything like that? Like, do you have a clear memory of that, or is that kind of fuzzy?
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy, okay. Then how did we get to the point? I want you to share your story about your friend who called me the witch for like the first month or two of our relationship.
Yeah, it wasn't it was definitely in the first 5 days.
He started doing it, yes.
Yeah.
Because I'll never
Did
forget.
you read my cards?
I don't know.
You pull cards for me?
Well, so we were
I'm
camping.
gonna say that's it.
So we were camping. Let's tell them the stories instead of filling in our own holes before telling them. Basically, after we met, we decided, I think it was the third night. What was the night that we were at the Colorado campground that we really loved and I rode your bike?
Yeah, that's night 3.
Night 3, we were at a campground camping, and I remember you called. I don't think it was a FaceTime. I think you and Dalton were on the phone, and he talked about, or I don't know, you somehow it came up, and he was like, "Is she a witch, bro?" And you were like, "I don't know, bro," because that's the way you talk to each other.
I think he said it jokingly first, like unprovoked. And then it turned out he like started reading my cards and started asking signs, and he was like, "Wait, no, she might actually be a witch."
And your first instinct wasn't to run?
Well, I was had at that point. It was too late. I was already hexed.
I put a spell on you?
Yep. It's already hexed.
I want the people to know out there. I did not. I don't do spells.
And that's what someone who does spells would say. So
Anais does spells. I don't do spells. Anyways, what was your first thoughts at my witchiness?
I thought it was interesting.
You thought it was interesting, not scary?
I wasn't scared of you.
Okay.
Still not scared of you.
Okay, well, so the reason I asked that is I feel like it's a really popular thing now. I know Kyle keeps looking off into the corner at the dog. She's just being really dramatic and sighing heavily and then laying her head down dramatic like that. Drama. Pure drama. If only we could show you. Anyways,
Anywho's,
basically I feel like it's a huge thing now in a trend of like, oh my gosh, if she asks for your sign, run, bro. Like,
yep,
so why weren't you not a runner?
I was already hexed. It was too late.
Okay, come on, give us a real answer.
I was hexed.
I did
With
not hex
love.
you with love. Damn, that was so garbage trash. You're gonna give us any real good content here?
Well, I had no real good reason. I just ignored all the warning signs.
The warning signs.
I went straight for it.
Have you dated other witches? Is that really what's happened? No other witchy girls? No astrology?
I haven't dated another girl who's asked me about my signs.
No, they just found out behind your back, I promise. They still charted you.
Yeah,
They still charted you?
never dated them.
Well, it made enough of an impact that Kyle actually, we have a playlist called Witchy Shit.
Yes.
So now we just do witch things
And
in
that
this
was made
household.
5 days into knowing each other, so that's how I know it was before day 5, because it's named when we were in Colorado.
Exactly. So right from the get-go, he knew I was a witch.
Yep.
How exciting for you to be dating somebody so
You
dynamic.
know, you could have a life of boredom and just like do normal things, or you could date a witch and then engage a witch and marry a witch.
So this is your plea to all men to go date a witch?
Might not be so bad.
Might not be so bad. Okay, on that note, tell the crew what your sun, moon, and rising are.
I am a Libra, Taurus, Gemini.
What does that mean to you?
Yep.
Not gonna give me anything there?
Look, Libras are supposed to be balanced people. I feel like I like balance in life. I like a little, see, a give and a take, a yin and a yang.
What's your, okay, so that's your good Libra quality. What's one bad Libra quality? Sir?
Was that a Libra quality?
That, a little bit.
I don't know. What's my bad Libra quality?
I feel like you guys live on a moral compass that nobody else has, like, can be right, and there's no wiggle room.
Because I'm right.
That's the problem right there.
Pair that with my emotional stubbornness, and you've got a winner.
So yeah, so you were just talking about your Taurus. Yeah. What's your Taurus right there?
That's my moon. My emotion, how I emotionally process things.
Yeah. Hey, good job. High five. Yep, that's how you emotionally process things, and that's your Taurus, which is your stubbornness, your strength. And then what about your rising?
Gemini.
Tell people about the Gemini.
I know the sign is twins, and they're sometimes said to be two-faced.
Correct.
And that's about all I got.
And I think we talked about on the last episode that two-faced really wasn't a terrible way to describe them because they are more so just adaptable, which is one of my favorite traits about you, is that you're able to go anywhere and do anything and be able to adapt to the people around you, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, I'm super cool. Thanks.
Oh my bejesus. So I do think that our biggest strengths and weaknesses as a couple are definitely within our moon sign, because our moon signs can be compatible, but they're not the best either.
What does yours mean?
Mine's an Aquarius in my moon, and so that's again I'm open to other ideas, but I also like to be right. But Aquariuses are known to be more like open to outlandish ideas. So, a little cuckoo nutty, but a really good time.
I didn't say anything. The stars are talking, all right?
The stars are talking. But yeah, so I do feel like compatibility wise, I've never heard anything bad about our signs together, but I've never even like considered an Aquarius Libra combination. So it's been kind of interesting to watch it unfold. Do you know your last girlfriend? What was her birthday? You don't know, do you?
I want to say November.
You want? Oh my God, was she a Scorpio?
No.
You want to talk about hexes? If your ex is a Scorpio, she put a hex on you.
Or you. And that's why you have stomach issues.
Maybe that's why I'm always throwing up all the time. Okay, we'll move on. What was the coolest thing that you've learned about astrology, tarot, anything like that since knowing me?
I think just tarot in general is it's the most interesting thing so far.
Okay, so more than astrology.
Mhm.
What do you like about tarot?
It's like specific and not wrong.
And not wrong.
Yeah,
So I feel like we kind of, oh, there's the little bluebell.
of course.
She's made an appearance as if she's just eaten something that she shouldn't have. So basically, tarot, to break it down, I think we talked a little bit about it, but I didn't really go in depth, is it's essentially a deck of cards. And you're able to read that deck of cards and kind of break down exactly what's going on in your life. Now, we do say in tarot that it's like a 3-month reading typically. And it kind of breaks down your past, your present, your future, what's happening right now for you. Blue snoot sniffing for Kyle's cereal bowl. You're a terrorist, my dear.
Probably couldn't get that on the internet.
Well, I did. It's too late now. She's unplugged the computer. Thank you so much, ma'am. Anyways, basically, kind of what it breaks down is the ability to kind of dive into what's going to be happening in your life in a way that I feel like is healthy in the sense of like, it's not like a psychic saying, oh, this is what's going to happen. You can't change it, things like that. It's very cool because I think knowing these things helps you adapt to change what you don't like. Would you agree with that kind of assessment?
Yeah, tells you what to look out for, or where you're trending, or what your tendencies are. I don't know. I feel like it explains a lot of the things that I've thought about, and then just hearing somebody else say them out loud, or something I'm pondering or trying to figure out. Having somebody else say it out loud really helps in that process of it.
I feel like 2 words to describe it would be like preparation and reassurance. Like it can prepare you for what's coming, and then reassurance and like, oh hey, I like you said, like I thought that was gonna happen. Someone else has confirmed it for me. And it's great.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to like learn how to read them for yourself?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
You haven't expressed interest to me, so I was just curious.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Mhm.
Okay, so the most interesting thing to you has been tarot.
Mhm.
What has been like the weirdest thing that was like, I want no part of that you've experienced?
I don't think I have anything right now that I'm not.
Have I ever said anything spiritually wise or hippy dippy wise that you're like, that was dumb as fuck?
I'm sure there's been one-off instances, but like as far as the principle goes, I haven't.
So I've fully converted you.
I wouldn't say converted. You just haven't read me off.
It's the hex.
The heck, that makes sense.
Okay, so let's talk about manifestation because I feel like you've really dove into that and really enjoyed that side of things.
To the point where sometimes you get annoyed with it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's way better of a manifester than I am and like enjoys it more. I really struggle with manifestation and like focusing my energy on it, but Kyle's like really into it.
Yeah, I think that's because I'm a more positive person.
Oh, hey now. I feel like this is just a giant roast.
It's not a giant roast, and that wasn't an insult.
Okay. Well, tell us about
I'm
your
more optimistic to the point. In some cases, overall I'm more optimistic. I guess that's what I should have said instead of more positive.
so share with us like what you like to do manifesting wise. Like what does your manifestation routine look like?
Well, here recently I've been trying to journal first thing in the morning, and it kind of just like clears all of my crazy thoughts that I wake up with, and I can just kind of put everything into reality on paper in front of me and see it. And then throughout the day, um, like I've got notes in my phone that I keep, and like set an intention for this or whatnot.
I didn't know you do that. That's super
Mhm.
cool.
I also write down the angel numbers that I see throughout the day.
He's really big into angel numbers. You want to get an angel number tattoo, don't you?
I do
Where do you want it?
on my chest.
And which angel numbers?
222.
What do 222 mean?
I don't know yet.
Then why do you want 222?
I do know, but right now I'm having
The pressure. The
froze.
pressure.
I
Let's
froze,
see.
yeah.
222 angel number meaning strength in terms of positive aspects. The angel number 222 calls to take note of what you want, where you are, and how you can learn to grow.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Mine is 1111. Normally I'm wearing a necklace, but I haven't been because of my physical therapy. They make me take it off anyways. But Kyle got me an 1111 necklace. And this one is 1111, meaning is that you will soon embark on your spiritual awakening journey and should not shy away from this new beginning. I see 1111 every day, like every day, unless we go to bed before nighttime 1111.
Did you see 11:11 today?
I did.
Huh.
I did. I almost screenshotted it and sent it to you, but I was driving a vehicle, so that's not a good
I
idea.
saw 11:12.
And on very good days for me, I see 111 too.
Yeah.
But Kyle and I say 1111 to each other pretty much every day. And when he was in Iraq, he would send me his 1111 and my 1111. Why are you eye twitching?
Time differences.
Time differences. We're done with that. So, on your manifestation process and journey, I want you to tell them about I really liked this one, and I think it's a really good visualizer. So, they say with manifestation, I've learned a lot about it. I just don't like to actually execute it. But what I have learned is you're your most powerful when you wake up in the morning. So, when you are getting up and you're journaling in the morning, it is doing your best work for you. But what I really liked that you used to do, I don't know if you still do it, and I've told other friends about when they ask about good ways to manifest, is remember when you used to wake up in the morning and just lay there and then think about like your dream home and you would like walk through the rooms? Walk through that process on how you did that.
Well, it's the same, like, do it in the morning because I'm no Derek Shepard, no neuro, whatever, but
Are we quoting Grey's Anatomy here?
a little bit. I'm trying to tie it in
Okay.
for extra brownie points. But you're in theta brain waves at when you first wake up. Like your brain waves are transitioning from like dreaming to fully operational daytime mode. I don't know exactly, but that's supposed to be your most like powerful controlled dreaming time. So like on the lucid dream stage, you're supposed to be able to really tap into visualization, and not only that, but like feeling that visualization. So like when you wake up in the morning, just without falling back to sleep, just to lay there, close your eyes, and picture what it would feel like, or imagine what it would feel like to be where your manifestations put you. So like if it's a dream home, imagine yourself laying in bed and you're about to wake up in that nice, Wyoming king size or Alaskan king size, and you're looking at I don't know, like the whole thing. So it's supposed to be more powerful because you are still tuned in to that dream state.
Interesting. Okay, so that's super cool. I've started to do it. I can't do it in the morning because I feel like I just fall right back to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm just like a dazed kind of person in the morning, but I have been trying to do it while I'm in Shavasana during yoga.
What?
Shavasana? It's dead body.
Ah.
You know, at the end of a yoga class, when you just
dead bug.
You know, I love to play dead bodies in the pool.
Okay.
Anyways, in a yoga class at the end where they like kind of have you just lay there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's called Shavasana.
Gotcha.
And I've been trying to do it then because a lot of the times I go to a lot of different yoga studios. I'm on ClassPass, which I highly recommend, so I can try different ones. But a couple of the different ones I go to, they'll come around and like put like eye masks on your face, and so it's like blackout, and then you just kind of. So I've tried to do it during Shavasana.
During time.
Well, I'm less
I don't know.
likely.
It's called Shavasana.
I think it gives me anxiety to fall asleep in there because I'm afraid like I'm going to fall asleep and they're going to have to wake me up.
That's the best part. When you're like, ah.
It's my worst fear.
Where am I?
So I prefer to like, just do it in Shavasana and then wake right back up in the morning. But
I don't like that word.
I'm going to keep saying Shavasana to bother you. Shavasana, Shavasana.
What is the matchmaker show? Jewish matchmaker?
Jewish matchmaker?
I thought you said Shabbat Shalom really fast.
Shabbat Shalom. Kyle and I have been watching Jewish matchmaker.
Yep.
I'm Jewish. Kind of.
And I'm not a matchmaker.
But we like the show, right, baby?
It's a good show. It's a good show.
But anyways, so yeah, I like that manifestation dealio that you do.
That's cool.
Have you ever thought of different routes that don't have necessarily to do with journaling?
No.
No. Okay.
Just no.
Just know. I know some people like they vision board or mood board. I
Yeah.
can't find the magazines that would have what I want to
You
mood
wanna
board with.
go find the magazines.
Yeah, that
Then
sounds
you
like a
have
lot of
a
work.
lot of magazines.
If I
What
could
are you
draw
gonna do
better,
with
I would
those?
draw it, but
You could paint.
we could
Paint it.
paint it.
Yeah.
Kyle,
It
we
look
did
like
a
hieroglyphics.
painting date night, and now he thinks he's a painter.
My skyline is like, instead of just like a little angle to give depth, it's like crooked.
He also drew like just two random black lines that he was
They
going to
were
draw
going to be the
signs,
signs in the water in the viewpoint of my painting,
and then
but I ran out of time.
he could have kept painting. But
We
anyways,
had to leave.
it was fine. Okay, so that's your manifestation journey. You're definitely a better manifester than I am, so I will give you that. Um, so how is all of this for you personally like tied back to religion?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, okay, let me start
Like
in a
how?
different place then. So your upbringing religion wise was very um Christian. Describe kind of like what that was like.
Um, my father is a preacher. He has been, he started preaching when I was born, and still to this day. Um, it's conservative. It's, it's non-denominational Christian. So like, and then on top of that, I grew up in a small town. So, like that was pretty much the only religion or spiritual sort of endeavor I was exposed to until I left that town.
So I find that so wild because I've talked to like a lot of like of my friends who Anais is a Santeria and like things like that that are very spiritual, more on like the witchy astrology side of things. And a lot of those women come out of Alabama.
Hmm.
So like it's just wild that like you never even heard anything different, correct?
No.
That's crazy.
Super small town. I mean, I'd heard of like the Baptist and Methodist. We had a Baptist church in town, a Methodist church in town, all that. I'd
But nothing
heard
outside
of
of like the
several of those
Christian
things.
umbrella.
Right. That's
Interesting.
and not even the whole spectrum of Christian religion.
So surprisingly, yes, I was talking to somebody about this a couple of days ago because I was telling them that Anais was Santeria, which is actually a Cuban. Well, there's two types of Santeria. There's more the African American culture Santeria, which is a lot more your voodoo. You're going to see a lot of that in New Orleans and like that area, where a lot of it can be dark magic, and it's actually like not good. I personally am not involved in any magic. I want to like preface there. I'm not whipping up spells in the kitchen, correct? You have to speak.
Correct.
There's no video on some of this, so you can't just make facial expressions.
Correct.
He's being an ass. No, I don't personally do any of that. Every now and then, Anais will come over and do something a little witchy for us. She is a Santeria, but she is on the Cuban side of Santeria, which is a lot more mellow and calm. They have gods that they worship and everything like that. I don't know the details. I'll definitely be doing a religion series, I think, and I will have her speak on that more. But I think what was so fascinating to hear is like Alabama is actually the heart of a lot of like the African American side Santerias. So, I mean, I know you grew up in a small town, but I just didn't know if you had like ever like come across like was there that one person in the town that everybody's like, no, like they're not Christian or something like that, or was everybody in your town fully Christian?
I mean, it was like 2,000 people. So
So everybody's
pretty
Christian.
much Christian or,
They like settled there and they were like, this is a church city.
well, like not everyone was religious, but the only religious offerings around were Christian.
You got no Jewish people? Left my people out of it?
There was not a synagogue or anything like that.
That's okay. Anyways, okay, so with that out of the way of where you like kind of grew up, how do you tie that in now to like what you're starting to learn about yourself, what you do believe, and like where does science fall into all of this for you? Because you're a pretty level-headed scientific guy.
So like just being exposed to, like in some of my travels and stuff, just being exposed to other religions, the principle of faith across the globe is if you back and you take a far enough look out, it's the same. And then when you start zooming in, the specifics start to differ. And that's where we all like we all start to disagree, and then you look closer, and then there's everybody's like, you don't even believe the same thing. Like, well, so I think that in broad strokes, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Broad strokes, it's hard to really see any difference in it all.
So they all kind of mirror each other.
Right. And it's when you start getting into the specifics of how you should behave, or like, because like we can all sit here and agree on being a good person as a tenet of any spirituality. Like, you
Yes.
can't knowingly be bad to others.
Okay. I guess here's the difference of what we're talking about that I think I didn't clarify well enough.
Hmm.
You're speaking on religion, organized religion. So that's a group of people coming together and them having a core set of values they have to follow. I'm talking about spirituality, whereas there's nothing that says in my astrology world that I have to be nice to people. It explains why everything is the way it is, but it doesn't tell me how I'm supposed to act. And I think that's why I'm spiritual with astrology and things like that and not religious.
Well, at the same time, wouldn't karma be involved in spirituality?
It's not something I personally
Or like,
subscribe to.
like we talk about meditating, if you are, or anything like what you give is your attraction, and you want to talk scientifically, your vibrations are your reality. So like, if you are negative, you attract negative, or if you
I can agree with
feed
that. Yeah.
negative, you retrieve negative. So it's like all of those same things follow into the spiritual and to the religious side of things. Like, religiously speaking, you could say if you are bad to people, you are bad. And in spirituality, you say if you put off bad energy, you will receive bad energy. It's
Yeah,
like, it's just about how you word it, I guess, right?
I guess that's super similar. I guess I've just never thought of it that way because for me personally, like my spirituality only affects me. Whereas I feel like a lot of religion, it's about the mass. And that's just specifically organized religion. This is not me knocking, like, if you're going to sit there and say, oh, I believe in God, I like want to do what God wants me to do, but like, you're not somebody that goes to church or feels like you have to follow certain commandments, things like that, then like, that's different, I think.
I think a lot of it also has to do with, uh, and this is going to be a little bit more like, my verbiage is going to be coarse. Like, a lot of us feel like we pick one. You can only,
Yeah.
like, it's a one or none uh, sort of thing. And I mean, how hard would it be to have a faith in, like, say, something that you didn't, or isn't tangible, have faith in that's existence, and then also understand and respect and observe that planets have an effect on our tide. We all, like, things have an effect on things, and things happen because things happen. But I also believe that there's more than what I can see. Like, I feel like we all subscribe to one and then jump in. And then when somebody's like half in or out or picks another one, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
there's like these
Why didn't
weird
you pick
set
why didn't you pick
guidelines.
my team?
I no, I think you bring up a really good point, and I do think that that's starting to shift, at least in this generation, because like you have people like my friend Ashley. Ashley is a very big Christian. She believes in God and she goes to church and she does all of those things, but she absolutely loves the side of astrology. And you know what she says when I ask her, because I'd love to have a thought-provoking conversation about this because I'm so passionate about astrology, but so intrigued by religion itself. And I asked her one time, I was like, so like as a Christian, how is it that like you continue to want to get readings from me and believe in this and stuff like that? And she's like, because I don't believe that God would put something on the universe for me to not think that it's real. Like she was like, well, God created astrology, so like it has to be there has to be truth to it. There has to be a piece to it because he created it. And I think that goes all back to like when people ask me, they're like, well, Gabby, like, why is it that like you believe in reincarnation or you believe this or you believe that? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just like the universe is in charge of that. But if you replace the word universe with God, it's the same thing.
Sure.
So it's kind of an interesting, like, just because I don't see it as a long haired, bearded man in a robe doesn't mean we're not technically seeing the same thing.
Right.
So I can see where you're getting at with that.
I think I think that might have to do with like the extreme form of followership that some people feel the need to exemplify. Like, you can everything can be taken to the extreme. Like you could be a follower of like I don't know. You could be a fan of cereal to the point that it's detrimental. Like
That's you.
you could drink yourself, you could drink so much water you drown yourself. Like you can take the most innocent, harmless, and oftentimes helpful things and make them evil or detrimental to others or just bad. So I don't know. I think most of most of the problem could be that
So where do you feel like you're at spiritually wise, or are you still just like kind of floating through that and trying to figure that out?
observing.
You're observing. Observing all religions or like certain
Oh,
ones in
definitely not
particular?
all because like there's a ton. There's a oh what is it? It's a real one. It's like the lasagna monster or something like that.
What?
I swear to you, it's a real observed religion.
Lasagna monster religion.
I don't want that to come off as like coarse or rude or anything, but it's real and I can't remember exactly what it is.
I'm looking it up. Wait, okay, are you ready for this?
Hmm.
Flying Spaghetti Monster, the deity of what began as a parody religion and grew to become a social movement. The adherents who call themselves Pastafarians purportedly number in the tens of thousands and are primarily located in North America, Western Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. But, like, what is this religion? What? The Church of Flying Spaghetti Monster began in 2005 with Bobby Henderson, a recent physics graduate. Yeah, it started as a joke, um, used to argue a scientific basis for intelligent design, stated that teaching about intelligent design must also include alternative theory that the universe was created by a flying spaghetti monster. Henderson received no response and he posted his letter on the internet, where it attracted a great deal of popular attention. Articles on the viral sensation were published in numerous newspapers and fan sites began to pop up and appear. The tenets of this religion, as laid out initially in Henderson's letter and expanded on in, there's actually a monster video on it, or a movie. So if you want to watch that movie, it's The Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. The world was created to appear older than it is, and that whatever a scientist performs a measure, such as carbon dating, to show the age of an artifact, the FSM changes the results of his noodly appendage. Similarly, gravity is said to result from the FSM pushing down on people. Interesting. I'm very confused by all of this. I feel like this
I
deserves its own
see
whole
what I mean.
video.
Even innocent things can be taken to the extreme points.
There's a church in Utah, Massachusetts, New Zealand, Czech Republic, and Austria. It was an accepted religion in the Netherlands in 2016. And that same year, the first legally recognized Pastafarian marriage was celebrated in New Zealand. What does a Pastafarian wedding look like? Is there a lot of pasta?
Can you like is pasta off limits then? Would that be sort of a form of cannibalism, like an
They're dressed as pirates. I looked up I looked it up.
I didn't see that coming.
Holy macaroni! Welcome to the first ever official Pastafarian wedding. And this couple is dressed up like pirates.
That's Jack Sparrow.
That is Jack Sparrow and his wife. Pirate-styled ship in New Zealand. The rings known here as rigatoni, and they're made of pasta. The happy couple, Pastafarians, Toby Rick. I mean, I guess if you're stuck in the woods and like we need to eat something, you could eat your wedding ring.
You can't get wet.
You can't get wet, no.
The first time you're wet, it's all floppy and it's gone.
Pastafarian, Toby Ricketts, and Mariana Fenn in full pirate regale. The officiant, I don't need to know all these people's names. The wedding feast, pasta, only pasta.
Oh,
They said,
got it.
Okay, just kidding. There was some cake too.
Okay. So you can eat pasta and it's actually
Oh my gosh, their rings are actually pasta.
it is.
Guys,
Why are
I
they
implore
blind-
you to
why
look
are
this
they
up.
why are they blindfolded?
That is weird.
Why are they putting rings on each other and not why are they blindfolded? I don't why are
When
they
it came time for the kiss, the bride and groom slurped up either end of a noodle until their lips met. Very Lady and the Tramp. Come here like this.
No, we're not gonna do that. That's sacrilegious.
That's sacrilegious. As for the vows, the groom and Toby Ricketts vowed to always add salt before boiling his pasta, while bride Mariana Fenn donned a colander on her head. What? Explain the core beliefs of Pastafarians. The flying spaghetti monster created the world, we know. We weren't around then and we didn't see it, but no other religion was around to see it either. And our deity is as plausible as any other. I would never have agreed to a conventional marriage, but the idea of this was too good to pass up. Wow. Wow.
So they did it for the comedy of it all?
I guess what I'm gathering now from reading all of that, and this is just my speculation, I hope there's a Pastafarian out there that watches this video and corrects us. I'm so curious. But what I'm gathering is their religion is really the religion based on like any religion can be true because no other religion was around to see the world created. Like that last statement kind of hit where it's like we
Or
believe in the pasta monster because nobody else can say that it's not true because no religion was there to see the creation of the world.
I mean,
It's not a wrong statement.
fair enough.
I think it's more of a standpoint. I don't think they actually think a spaghetti monster created the world, or maybe they do.
Or maybe they
If they do, I think they're on LSD. I might get flagged for saying LSD.
You might get flagged for saying a lot of the things that we're talking about.
I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit, baby. The Pastafarians are out there, and I have questions.
I'm sure they have answers.
Oh, it
What's
sounds
next
like
on
they're.
your list of tricks over there? What's
Well, I just really wanted to talk that piece of like astrology, religion, and what you believed in from there. That was really the last thing on my list. We've kind of tackled it all. What has been like,
much success?
if you were to, just based on like what we've talked about and how I've talked about different signs, because I know you don't know all the signs super well, what have been your least favorite and favorite signs in the zodiac? Do you have favorites and least favorites? Have you noticed since meeting me, learning about it, that like you kind of want to figure out somebody's sign and see if like they're actually like that?
Yeah, I've like people I've worked with, I've sort of found out their birthday that enough to find out their sun sign, and like it kind of matches.
Well,
A lot of their stuff would match, and I'm sure that if I found out their moon and rising, that it would like really nail them down. But like I did all the boys,
yeah.
did all the boys, and I pretty much summed them up.
So that's what you like about it is the accuracy you're getting between that
Yeah.
and tarot.
Yeah. Did I have something on my face?
No,
So sympathetically looking like,
no,
oh,
I had an itch.
huh.
I'm just
Okay.
looking at your beautiful face. Kyle's kind of awkward on camera.
I forgot on camera. I did
Debatable.
pretty good.
As
I
a,
put down my cereal for this.
he did put down a cereal, but also like you shouldn't be eating cereal. It's 5 p.m. We're about to eat dinner.
It's granola.
He actually tell them how you make that cereal.
No,
If you don't, I'm going to.
it's trademarked.
It's
You
not
can't.
trademark.
You can't. It's the
Kyle,
Krabby Patty secret formula. You cannot divulge it on social
I'm gonna do
media.
it.
Stop.
Okay,
I'll do
fine.
that to you.
If enough people ask
No.
me on Instagram, you're gonna have to make a reel to show them how you make it.
I might do that, but we're not going to just cheaply discuss it.
Okay, well, I'm expecting a DM after this episode, guys, with the fact that you're going to ask for his cereal recipe.
I still might not agree to do it.
I'll be videoing him while he's not looking. Don't worry, you'll get your video if you
I'm
DM
going
me.
to carefully watch when I'm making cereal. It's
10
delicious.
DMs and I'm doing it.
That cheap? Am I not worth more DMs?
No.
It's ridiculous. Blue, let's get out of here.
Blue is also, did you realize that Blue is a Cancer? She's July 4th. She's a Cancer.
Oh, I thought all July was June.
June is Gemini.
What's her moon rising?
I have no idea. Do you know where she was born and at what time? We adopted our dog at 6 years old. I have none of those answers.
Hey, where were you born?
I think it's time to end this episode because
She didn't answer.
She's never gonna answer you. Hey, Bluebell, you want to come say goodbye to the fun, the fans, the fun, the
Come here.
friends, the blah blah blah. Come here, babies. She's coming. She's coming to say hello. Come here. He's got to get you on camera. Come here. Look. Booby, just look. Look at right there.
I do a rap.
Now, this is where it gets chaotic. Kyle likes to pick up the dog. This is where the Cancer and Blue and the Libra and Kyle don't get along. It's literally tumultuous. He is dragging her back into the screen.
She's fine. Look at her. She's relaxed. She loves this.
This is not a relaxed dog. Honestly, I'm so sorry if you have listened to this episode instead of watched. I'm really sorry because you're missing out on some fun things that you could have witnessed. And I'm sure a lot of this was really breathy and a little bit confusing. So, for that note, I suggest next time watching the YouTube, some announcements while Kyle picks up the dog and causes chaos in my home. Some announcements. Oh, and in hindsight, if you're listening, just a reminder, I have a Great Dane, so picking her up is not like picking up a small dog. My announcements, though, for next week, do not expect an episode if you listen on Apple or Spotify. It will be a YouTube only. It will be a vlog. I am actually touring. Kyle, you're so distracting.
She's sliding.
I will be touring Casa Diego, which is a spiritual, gosh dang it. A spiritual town in Florida, actually known to be one of the most spiritual places in America. I will be doing that vlog with a special guest host, so get excited about that. Somebody very knowledgeable about all this stuff. And we're going to be doing psychic readings, touring the city, showing you guys everything. So if you do normally just listen, I really highly suggest popping on the YouTube next week because we'll have that video. After that, we'll have one more video on astrology before we switch themes. So thank you guys for tuning in today. I am so sorry for my future husband's chaotic behavior. And Bluebee says, I promise I'm not abused. Right, Bluebee? Tell them.
She just keeps sliding.
Okay, we're going to go. Have a nice day.